Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason for the first time today.
Hey, love the show. Great team win today. I think the Browns defense is finally starting to kind of put it together. I mean, we've been great all year, but this game, great game. Go defense, go Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Scott, they played really well yesterday. The previous two games against the Colts and the Seahawks, there were some things that happened. So I'm curious to see how they react to the Ravens, who they've seen already.
Yeah, me too. And, Jim Schwartz mentioned it last week, the coordinator, that there had been too much feast or famine. I think that was within games and just overall. The Browns have played really well. For example, week 3 against Tennessee, they let up, I think it was 94 yards. Week 4 against Baltimore didn't go crazy yardage-wise, but they ran for 131. They scored 28 points, and the defense had a letdown. And then, they start poorly against Seattle, play well for a while, give up that late touchdown. They played well for most of the game against San Francisco and then don't against the Colts, but get a late stop, right? So it's been, I think a bit of a roller coaster. And if you're going to have the number one defense in the world, like they say they want to, you can't have that. There's got to be more consistency. And I'm working on a story right now about that. So you come off this great performance against the Cardinals, right? Third fewest yards in franchise history. You got to back that up. Like, that's the key to consistency. Back it up against a really good opponent in the Ravens. And, I think motivation-wise, not that you should need motivation, but, everybody looks to that. They call on it. The motivation yesterday was to bounce back from the giving up that winning touchdown drive in Seattle. So this week, it's do twice in a row, bounce back from that Ravens game, the first game where they didn't play well. You're going against a Ravens defense that's really good and number one in the league in points. Well, the Browns are number one in the league in yardage. So it's two of the best defenses kind of going head-to-head. So there's a lot of reasons for the Browns defense to try to put its best foot forward.
The other thing is the expectations are higher because you've seen a glimpse of what they can do. So, they're being graded on a little bit of a higher scale because of what you expect from them. And along those lines, take a look at this. This is from Dan Murphy from the Browns. He tweets this out. Fewest net yards allowed in games this season. Browns have the top 3. There was last week against Arizona 58. You mentioned the Tennessee game 94. And then Joe Burrow, again, he wasn't healthy. But the Bengals, they still have some really talented guys under 150 yards. They've given up under 150 net yards in 3 games this year. So you're grading them on a curve.
Well, and that's how you lead the league in yardage, right? You have 3 games like that. Those do not skew the stats, but it really slants them. But yeah, the expectations are high because of those numbers, because you know what the potential is, and because of the talent, right? We talk about talent all the time, and we saw it in this defense, and now we've seen it show up, right? So why can't it happen every week? There's really not a great reason that you can't be good week in and week out. They have the front. Myles Garrett might be the best defensive player in the league. Denzel Ward might be the best corner in the league. I don't know if he is, but Juan Thornhill said he was. He's certainly playing at a really high level, had another interception yesterday. So if you got the front and the back, you got guys running around in the middle at the linebacker position, you got a chance to be really good week in and week out.
Absolutely. And having said that, there are going to be times where you give up big plays. That's because the other team has NFL guys that are really good too.
Yeah, but you just can't let it happen repeatedly, right? Multiple times a game. And you can't let it happen at the key moments. I think that's what's probably been most frustrating for Jim Schwartz. They let up the drive late against San Fran, but get the break when the kid misses a field goal. They give up the touchdown against Seattle, right? Those are big moments that the defense didn't show up for. And I think that's what he points to is, okay, that's when the best teams kind of rise to the occasion. And also the red zone. The Browns have been bad defensively in the red zone. So those are the key moments. And that's where I think is the biggest place where they can make even a greater jump.
Yeah, that's where championship defense show up, is in those moments, without question.